Welcome to the Yoked podcast. I'm your host, Travis Hall, alongside my wife and co-host, Ingrid.
On this podcast, we talk about all things real estate, entrepreneurship, business, faith, family, you name it, we talk about it, and how we do it all as an equally yoked husband and wife team.
We are glad you're here. Thanks for listening. Enjoy this week's episode. What's up, and welcome to the Yoked podcast. We are excited today. We have an in-person. There's 4 of us, obviously. Seth and Becca Turner. They are visiting us here in Coeur d'Alene. And so we were talking, we're like, well, let's record a podcast because you guys, first of all, you need to be on it. And second, we're here in person. Let's just do it.
Do it now.
Let's just do it.
So in typical impromptu Travis fashion, he was like, let's do it today.
Kitchen counter or kitchen table podcast.
Which this is fun. Like, we've wanted to have Seth and Becca on because they are a husband and wife business venture team. You guys have a sweet little baby, Abner. You're new to business together, although you've been involved in business, each other's business for a long time.
But like the full-time deep dive together.
Doing it together,
Commitment.
which is super cool.
Yes.
So,
Give a little bit of history about these guys.
So
as far as their walk up, like
maybe they should.
No, it's more fun. We do it. So, okay. Seth and Becca Turner.
Right.
They're amazing. They're in the Denver Metro. We knew them from real estate, from being Seth as a realtor.
I recruited Seth.
We can go into that.
She did.
She did.
I did.
You were responsible for all of Seth's
actually very
success.
It's true.
But you guys do investing as well. We're partners in a business. And then here 6 months ago, you bought a small business. And now they are general contractors and own a business called Highline Design Build.
Which was also with a partnership.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was.
And I would venture even to say you stayed in partnership with the owner for, what was it, 3 months?
4 months.
4
For
months
almost
to
5 months.
transition.
Yep.
Talk about a lot of different partnerships y'all have had. They've had the Bean Book before.
The Bean Book.
You guys have done a lot in partnerships.
That's true.
Yep.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
You're well versed and you're ready. All right, let's dive in, babe.
So anything we were missing, like any important, like you guys met in, were you in high school? Was it?
I was in middle school.
We were in middle school when we met.
I love it.
I love
I was
it.
in middle school.
So we have some good photos of each other from the young days for anyone who's curious about them.
From Buena Vista, Salida, Ponca
Yeah.
Springs area.
the Mountain Town area.
Colorado. Yep.
It was a lot of fun.
And how long have you been married?
7 going 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Together for almost 10.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else we
It's
should
fun,
know?
We were babies and we've been growing up together. So
That's
that's
true.
been fun.
Yeah, we got married young by today's, I guess, examples.
Norms.
Norms.
Yeah.
And then Becca, you are still going to school now for sociology, but at one point it was counseling. You've done a couple niche things along the way to get you here.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm trying to think of the cleanest way to tell or the easiest way to tell that story.
You can tell the dirty way. It's fine.
I mean, I have a background in business, but a lot of my work experience has been in human services and social justice. And that's still something I care a lot about. So it's been really fun as we've stepped into doing business together to kind of be brainstorming and dreaming about how to, do business well and to also incorporate some of those passions in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. And then Seth, I always knew you as always being in real estate. Oh, did you do something before real estate?
Did handyman services. I worked for a lighting and plumbing company.
Real estate adjacent.
Real estate adjacent, and before that, it was just a bunch of odd jobs.
Okay.
Yeah. Barista.
Okay.
Worked at a really hip acai bowl shop.
Yeah, you
Is
did.
it?
I did.
Dude, I love acai
Yeah.
bowls.
Yeah. That they have weird mixture. They did oatmeal and
I could have one
acai.
right now.
They're good. They're really
Ingrid does not like them
I
because they're
don't.
cold on her
Yeah.
teeth. So I get them when I travel
Oh,
with myself.
yeah. They're pretty.
Yeah, when we were like fresh out of college, Seth did a handful of months working at a brewery, which like was personally a favorite time of life
That
for
was
me.
for sure. They gave me a free
What brewery?
Great Frontier Brewing Company in
Oh.
Lakewood. They gave me a free crowler every single shift.
Dang.
Wow.
And it was
Yeah.
like a
That is a lot of
chill enough
beer.
brewery that I could just go hang out
That's a lot of
and
beer.
It's a
hang.
ton of
It was a ton of beer.
It was
That is a
never took
fun
them up on
time
it,
in
but
your
yeah,
life.
it was really
It
fun.
was fun.
Wow.
So you saunter through odd jobs in different avenues, education, social justice, real estate. And then at some point, I'm curious what the turning point was specifically of we are going to go into business together, whether it was to go purchase one or to start one, maybe doesn't matter, but like we're going to do this together. We want to be in business together. Like what was that turning point?
It's probably that conversation we had.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a really interesting process because I think for a lot of years we were doing pretty different work stuff. And, there was overlap here and there. And Seth was always like, hey, like wanting to make it happen. And I was kind of the one that was more hesitant to do that. And I think like
2
a
years.
year or two ago, we actually had a conversation with you guys. So I'll throw that out there
Mhm.
with Travis and Ingrid about some goal setting as a couple and as a family. And I think for us, that was a big turning point where we actually started paying attention to not just what Seth wants and what Becca wants, but what we want as a family and how we're as a couple and how we're going to get there. And I think, after a lot of conversations there, we really were able to hone in on, it makes sense for us for what we want
Mhm.
together to start doing more work
We had that big
side by side.
We had that big conversation, I feel like, too, where it was, I think we were trying to figure out like what trajectory we wanted to be on. And I remember we were sitting in your Forerunner, and I had kind of like not given up on the idea of working together, but I was like, I don't want to ask her to give up on her dream of counseling. Like if that's her dream,
Sure.
Right.
you go get it.
And you weren't going to go be a counselor.
Me, no, I don't have the skill set. And she, like, I think you had said, I don't know if it was right in the moment or right after, but you were like, I actually don't know if that is my dream to be a counselor. And that's kind of like what propelled our conversation of like, I don't know, utilizing some of these goal sheets.
A door opened, a
Yeah,
window.
a door
Yeah.
opened.
A
Mhm.
big,
I love
big
that.
door for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, that's so cool.
That is
Okay.
awesome.
So then you decide like we're going to go do something together. Then how did you decide either to purchase or like you guys could have started a business and you had skill sets where you could have jumped into the real estate side and
Mhm.
Well, and you are like right now,
well,
like
and you are.
Right.
you're running that path too,
Yeah, but like
getting licensed.
the difference between purchasing a business and starting one, like what was that decision factor? Like
Well, yeah, I guess we did start one. We started the Bean Book with a couple friends,
sure.
and that was a lot of fun, I think. But it was challenging. Like when you're starting a business, you have to, you know, prove it. You have to create a proof of concept, right? Like no one's just going to start buying your product unless you like
Right.
prove it's worthwhile.
So for those in the audience that don't know what the Bean Book is,
The Bean Book,
just high level, what
We were
was
proud
that
owners
business?
of Bean Books.
I had Bean Book.
the
Denver's
Bean Book,
Coffee Passport.
Denver's Coffee Passport. Yep. So it's a little book you can purchase online. It's like $20 or maybe it's 25 now. We sold it, our share of it, so we're not super involved anymore. But basically there's 25 coffee shops you could go to in Denver and surrounding areas, Winter Park, Slida BV, and you could get little discounts on your coffee. Whatever. Buy one, get
Love
one
it.
free, 50% off, whatever it was. And
Super
so
fun, like
just
a
a
little.
fun way to go
So that-
explore.
Way
and
to
that's probably
explore
one
the
of the first
city.
times you're like doing business to business sales. Like
Yeah.
real
Right.
estate is business to consumer. I mean, I guess counseling's a little bit more consumer based if you would, but like you're doing business to business sales
Yep.
in that.
Yeah, because I mean, it was a really cool sweet spot because it was, I think business done well is when it's providing value to everyone involved. So I do think the Bean Book is a really unique thing because it's providing value to the coffee shops. It's getting more people in who wouldn't be there before. And then it's also providing value to the consumers because they, it's a fun thing to try new places and also get some discounts. So
Yeah.
kind of a cool sweet spot. But it was definitely an experiment. And I think as we were moving through our own career, we had some friends, maybe you can speak to this more, Seth, talking to us about the idea of purchasing a business. I don't know if you want to talk about that, Seth.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, we had a friend who went to some it's called acquisition entrepreneurship is the phrase. And so he went to some seminars about this, and it was all about building generational wealth, generational equity, this new phrase I hadn't heard of. And the whole um, series was about like buying businesses from people or just individuals who are trying to retire. They're trying to phase out and they don't have anyone to hand the business off to. And so we had a lot of conversations with him about it, and he was just sharing stats of like established businesses when they're purchased by a new buyer, they have like I think it's a 97% success rate, whereas new businesses have like a 3%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's complete opposite.
They're the rest of the three.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the other three.
It's hard.
So it's like that's kind of a comforting stat, and so we kind of just explored it as an option, and we looked at it like I looked at over 60 businesses to like purchase, but none of them really hit home.
How'd you know Highline was like the right opportunity?
You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it was really a long process. First, before we even knew about Highline, we had kind of narrowed in on the type of business that we thought would be a good fit. And part of that is based on like, statistics around what industries are stable and like good businesses to own in general. And then we also tried to combine that with experience, our own career experience that we already have. And so we knew we wanted some kind of real estate adjacent business. And then, we were connected with a business broker and looked through a lot of different businesses. And really like start to finish, when we first saw Highline to when we closed, it was 7 months,
6 months,
6 or 7 months from start to finish. So it really was like a process of, taking the first step of saying we're interested and then starting communication with the previous owner. And I mean, months and months of prep and digging into the business and all of this. And really like, it wasn't 100% that business was going to be bought until the day it was bought. So it was a long process.
Y'all paid your attorney like a handsome fee.
like too much.
Yes, we did.
Hey, but you got the deal done. So I'm curious, like you looked at a lot of...
You're here too.
Yeah, hi, I'm Travis. You looked at a lot of businesses. Like what were some where you're like, what? What is like, were there any where you're like, I can't even believe this is for sale. And like, this is not for us, but wow.
There were some in there that I'm like, oh, the numbers look really cool. But also we know absolutely nothing about like a fiber optics installation company. I'm like, the numbers look amazing. This is awesome. I was like, I don't even know what they're really
what is We're Googling it.
Yeah, it's like, what is that? Or like, there's a ton of like barbershops for sale. And I was like, that's kind of cool. Like, you could buy a barbershop. But like, when you're looking at these businesses, there's like different categories, like, and it's sometimes based on purchase price too. So it's like, if you buy something typically or under $1 million, you're kind of buying a business where you're going to be the owner operator.
For sure.
And if you kind of exceed that $1 million, you can kind of like explore where that's less of a thing. So we kind of knew what we were getting ourselves into. We were like, we want to do something that's related to real estate, so that way we can operate it and like kind of include it in our bundle of services. But yeah, there was a lot of businesses: fiber optics, barbershops, the cabinet companies,
tile
fabricating companies, tile companies. There was roofing companies.
Yeah.
There's a ton out there.
You're talking about a lot of manual labor companies.
Yes.
All companies that have some kind of manual labor where AI maybe isn't going to take over in the next, 10, 20 years. I don't know.
I would like
we got
to
a
see
runway.
ChatGPT cut a hair. Someone's haircut.
I mean, too, honestly.
I know.
I bet at some point maybe, but man.
Yeah.
Not in our life.
But those are super resilient businesses right now.
Yes.
Okay. So then how did you decide to do it within a partnership? Was that always a thing, or did at some point you say, okay, now we need us? I know your partner is kind of silent, but was it was it because of capital, or what was it specifically that you said we need a partner?
Yeah, I mean, for our situation, this person was, when we were talking through business, he was the one that we were doing a lot of this dreaming and brainstorming with from the beginning. Right. So like even just the like thoughts of this was kind of done together, and we all were really hoping to be able to do it as friends and turn that into a business partnership as well. And, you know, as conversations went on, it was kind of decided who was providing capital and then who was providing more of the like operational management, which are both super important parts to buying a business. And yeah, I don't know. Do you have more thoughts on that?
No, I think that just became the role. I
Okay.
think our friend and partner wanted, he wanted to be involved a limited number of hours just because he doesn't have the bandwidth to kind of jump in full time. And he was like, I'm happy to help front, capital to get us in the door, and you guys can operate this thing and rock and roll with it. And it's been a really good fit.
I mean, it's a great partnership.
Yeah.
Like capital partner, so to speak, and your boots on the ground actively managing it.
It's been going really well because I will say, like, when we were in college, we both studied business, and it is funny looking back because one of the like go-to statements that we heard from our business professors all the time was like, do not go into a partnership with people. They like tried to drill that into our heads, and really, I know.
Well, 50-50 partnerships was their main thing. So we've been pretty careful with that. But
well, I think they were concerned about like people getting into a situation where there was like no way for decisions to get made. And I think that was in our minds when we made these moves. And really it was helpful for us to know that so that we could put the right things in place to make the partnership go well, which I think it's been going great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I remember one of our first meetings when we decided to do the investment group skit, and Seth sends us this like document of all this stuff we have to think of. And Travis and I are like, wow, we're pretty like far along in business and in partnerships. And I had never seen or worked through a document like that with my partners, which is like, maybe probably should have. The stuff like, what do you do if one of you dies?
Seth, I was also had a front row seat to a partnership that didn't go so well. We've talked about it on the podcast, but you had a front row seat, so you knew that we were cautious. Right. So working through that document was wildly helpful.
It's a good thing to have, I feel like.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, so helpful.
Business with friends, like you want to have something that everyone can fall back on when you agreed on it when you're all in a great state of mind.
Right.
And I think that helps preserve.
I certainly have used that since then. Mm-hmm. That was helpful.
Well, because it's so easy for when you're studying our partnership, as you guys know, like you're at the beginning and it's all exciting and it's like, this is going to be amazing.
Right.
I mean, that's me most of the time. But it is important to like talk through what about when it's not amazing?
Yeah.
Let's try to like answer those questions first.
Yeah. Well, and if your goal, like our goal is like when we do business with friends, like we want it to be for the rest of our lives to be able to do these things. And when you're looking at the rest of your life, you should probably just assume that at some point something hard's going to happen.
For sure.
So how can you put in the time to like care for your friends well
and
early
that,
so that you're prepared?
Yeah, it's worth the time for sure.
So you buy this company and it's mostly outdoor spaces at time of purchase. I know you're breaking into interior remodels and they did some of that before.
Yep.
Highline Design and Build for anybody who needs patio, pergola, I don't know,
decks,
anything,
fences and all. Whatever.
Just call them; they'll help you. But I want to hear like a smack you in the face moment, like in those first weeks. Where did you ever have one where you're like, "What did we do? What on earth did we get ourselves into?
From the fire hose,
oh my gosh, we may die." Give it to us.
Yeah. You have any?
Are you still having those daily? Or?
I was going to say that's not gone.
It's not entirely gone yet, but
I do feel like it's been an emotional roller coaster of like one day of the week we're like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. We're killing it. We feel so cool. And then the next day it is like, what are we doing?
Yeah, it does fluctuate. It's like record month, awesome. And it's like we're eating rice for the rest of our lives.
Yes.
It is drastic. I feel like for me, the design software was a hard learning curve.
Yeah.
So like I get into this business and, it's like, I feel like I'm adaptable. I can learn these skills and stuff. And I do design, I do the measurements with the previous owner. And he did what I did very quickly. It took him like 5 minutes, what took me 3 hours. And I was like, I'm so screwed. He did it fast. I was like, holy crap, I can't believe you did it. Like truly 5-10 minutes and he was done. The design was great.
He's like, and this is what it looks like. You just deliver it to the client.
And I'm like,
Zip,
wow,
zip.
that was amazing. And it took me a really long time. And I've put a lot of hours into that software to like get pretty
Is that Chief
decent.
Architecture?
Yeah.
They're headquartered out of here.
I know.
You got to.
I just knew that.
Yeah. So now it's a business
This
expense. when you come
podcast
see
is
us.
sponsored by Chief Architect.
I know.
They're
We
nice.
should get them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their
In Coeur
headquarters
d'Alene,
right here.
right up here. You know, some software guy was like, "Where do I want to live?
Oh,
if I can run a
honestly.
business out of anywhere, I'm just gonna."
Honestly.
Well, my
toodle
sister
everything."
was just here for the conference
Yeah.
and that they put on, and she said it was like amazing how much she learned. But
Yeah.
she just did not know that it
So
could do that.
even somebody, working in it, like, and you're working in it a lot. I bet that was a smack you
They're
face.
all-
Hey, next year you should just come out for the conference.
Honestly, it's robust.
like-
There's
Well,
like a million buttons in that thing. Like, it's
And it's ever changing. And I'm sure, I mean, AI, I'm sure we'll be changing that a lot
Right.
too in the coming years.
yeah, that was a smack. I have many other ones. but-
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been a really cool process because like the business we purchased has already had an awesome group of people working there. And I mean, some of these people have been there for years and are excellent at what they do. So, you know, they're all awesome and gracious as we're learning. And like, I feel like there's been a lot of times where I'm like, I'm sorry, like you guys are super knowledgeable and thank you for helping us
Yes.
learn
Right.
Humble.
and taking the
I
steps.
love that.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
You
They've
know
been
what though?
awesome.
That is an advantage of purchasing a business instead of starting your own. Is you are acquiring, in most times, hopefully, and you've done your due diligence, a great group of people, and you do feel lucky to be able to help them provide for their families. Like
Yep.
that's not
Mhm.
something you take lightly.
Yep.
That's
And
so
that's
cool.
a partnership in its own way. Like they are awesome and have agreed to work through the learning curves that we have. And, you know, we're jumping in and wanting to learn the business too. So that's really a different type of partnership as well, that we're all leaning on each other to try to figure out how to make this transition smooth.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Let's talk about the size real quick too, just for perspective from listening. Like you bought this business, you have 5 employees, right?
And any numbers you have.
Yeah, and like in general, like what revenue were you
Like
doing?
class
Were they
are
doing
you in?
before
When we purchased, there were 4 employees.
for full-time employees?
4 full-time employees.
Well,
Yep.
3 was it 3 full time and then 1 part? Oh, 4 full time. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Good job.
What about
Good
like
job.
revenue size or job size? Like what?
General revenue they were doing like 1.8. General job size it fluctuates.
Which is low. I mean, compared to what it could go. I mean, what you see some of these contracting
Especially in that
companies.
market.
oh yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think like when there's like a cutoff of when it's no longer considered a small business. Is it over 2.5 million in revenue? Do you remember?
I can't remember.
There is a cutoff.
From like an SBA loan
Yep,
standpoint.
from like an SBA loan standpoint, that's where
Like
it's no
underwrite it
longer
differently.
considered a small
Small,
business.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the cutoff is, but yeah. So 4 employees, 1.8 in revenue. Average job size was like 60 grand.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
And you had to get your general contracting license.
Class C, baby.
Mhm.
Take a big old test with a big
Yeah.
old book.
Oh yeah, I studied like a ton for that one, and it took me. I got a time extension because I'm a slow reader, and it took me the whole 6 hours every second.
Hey, you passed.
Yeah.
So
That book is though. Like,
oh, it's so
Oh, it was
thick.
massive.
It's huge. It's like over 1,000 pages.
that's
I
amazing.
want to talk about like the seller because it is unique. Like a lot of people like the idea of buying a business. I know we're exploring it a lot up here, but you know why? And I know the answer, but they don't. So why?
Walk him into
and
it,
like
babe.
who was the seller and why was he selling?
He was just a guy who so in this situation, he started out when he was 17 or 18. Got into construction. I don't know if he enjoyed it necessarily, but he was good at it. He was really, really
Very
good at
good.
it. And he like very quickly like became a crew lead, became a project manager, became a general manager for other companies. And then he was like, I'm just gonna do this on my own. And so
Yeah.
he started out, he had all the knowledge of how to do a project, but then he had to learn all the skills of how to run a business,
Mhm.
which are very different. And I
very
think
different.
that took him a long time and I think a ton of energy. And I would say like by the time he really got it kind of down to a science, he was kind of already burning out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So he
there
had
was
been in it
burnout.
for 18 years? I
Yeah.
think something like that. 22 years, I think is what it was. But
What a gift to you.
Yeah.
Like all that
right.
brain damage that he absorbed
Yep.
to build this, to like hand it off.
And he
like,
built an incredible thing, and he
Yeah.
was so good at it. And yeah, I mean, it's a cool thing to be able to, I mean, and kind of a sacred thing too, to be able to take this thing that someone's poured their whole life into and like work together to carry it on and grow it and keep it
Right.
healthy. And like the trust that he had in us to be able
Right.
to continue that legacy on is really cool.
It is really cool.
So what is he moving on to now? Like he's just chilling in his hammock on the beach, or is
Oh,
he
baby, let's go.
gonna like start a new thing?
I don't know.
He's unsure.
Yeah.
He doesn't
It's a
know.
good
right
Did
now.
you
question.
get a non-compete?
Yeah.
Wow, how long?
5 years.
Okay, 5 years, build a bunch of decks.
Yeah.
5 years.
No, I mean,
5
he
years.
might go consult, right? But that was, I mean,
I
but
mean, I
that's not the
think
plan.
as far as non-compete, like he can do some general construction stuff for like friends and family, but
hmm
and we've talked about our in conversation about doing some consulting stuff for us. But yeah, who knows? He's kind of in his next season of learning and figure out what he wants to do.
Yeah, I think he needs a break to kind of get some time to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a hard industry to be in. He was doing it.
Yeah.
Sales, estimates, designs, project management. Because there's a lot for one person.
That is a lot.
Yeah, it's
that
a
is.
ton. We're breaking it apart, and it still feels like a ton. So
Yeah. Well, I want to switch gears. I want to talk about like being a married couple and parents together. We talked about this just this morning casually over coffee, but like what it's like to, we work together, you guys work together, you kind of never put it down, you live it, you breathe it now, all those times and the boundaries. So like how have your roles at home maybe shifted a little bit, and how has that changed over the last 6 months?
last 6 months. Gosh, where do we
Because you
start?
got this really easy baby that
Really
just,
easy,
like
sweet little
toddler.
baby. Oh, he is so sweet.
He is sweet, but he's a toddler.
I would say like we have an incredible amount of support. So like I think we've decided once we started getting into business together, we were like, we want to try to make things like as equitable as possible at home, like 50-50 as much as we can. It's not always the perfect science. But I think what makes that really possible is like we have Becca's mom who watches Abner 3 days a week, which is incredible. And I don't think we would be able to do what we do without that.
For sure.
Our life is sponsored by Deb.
Shipped by Deb.
Deb is also
Shout
a
out, Deb.
sponsor.
Also sponsored by Jess.
We'll never be able to repay you.
Never be able to repay you. Yeah, Becca's sister watches Abner an additional 2 days. But I think like we couldn't do 50-50 if we had to do work and watch Abner full time.
Well, and to be honest, I don't think it's like it got decided once and now it's all
Mhm.
figured out. Like it's a constant conversation
Yeah.
about like
Yep.
who's taking what and when someone needs a break, when someone like needs extra time to do something. It is a constant conversation of the ebb and flow of how to do life together. And it's super cool and like has its own unique challenges of we spend all day, every day in all different parts of life working together. So
What are those like sweet parts of it where you're like, this is so cool?
there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them. I like working back to back. We work back to back in our office.
I know you do. Sometimes we're on Zooms and I'm like, oh, hey, Becca's back.
When you guys are both on the same Zoom.
But you are back to back. I'm like,
I love it.
they both have headphones.
I
on.
love it. It's cozy in there. We're back to back. It feels like we're conquering the world together. It's really fun.
Yeah.
And I think you go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, I mean, when we were
yeah.
I
really love
that.
He's like, this guy doesn't shut up.
I mean, I think like when we were talking this morning, Ingrid used a word of integration. And I do think that's a really good word. Like it's so special, like having worked previously at like a 9-to-5 at an office or at a school. And it's just so cool to like be able to be working back to back and then like have Abner and my sister walk in for 5 minutes after they went to the park and be able to like, be the one to tuck him in for his nap and then go back to work. And just like being able to like go in and out of work then personal life is like really special, I think.
It is fun. It's fun.
It's
And like
special.
Abner runs into, because he'll come home from like a walk or an outing with Jess and like he'll just run into the office and he'll
Yeah.
just be like, Dada, Mama.
Yep.
And like just a quick hug, you know, and
Yeah.
it's just like, that is so fun and special that we get to do that. So.
I think it's a cool way too to like help shape people you're in business with, because we have, and we've talked about this before on our podcast, like there was a piece of business we lost because we had a family. They did not think we could serve them at a high level because we had kids, which is fascinating. And I'm like, that's ignorance, but
And those people just aren't our people.
they're not our
And that's
people.
okay.
But
But
truly,
it was an
like
interesting
when he
realization.
runs in and you're on a Zoom, there's an amount of grace that needs to be given from the person on the other end that is so good for our society.
Yeah.
I think it is like cool to see that. And we're big fans. I mean, we never miss kids stuff now that we are self-employed, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. That was like one of the biggest things is I wanted to be a yes dad.
Yeah.
It's like just at least have the opportunity to say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because if you're in a full-time job, a lot of people still can, but you might not have the same flexibility.
Yeah. So there's obviously hard parts too, though. Like how do you turn it off? When does it get to be too much? You know, carrying over strong disagreements. Tell us about a time when it was like, this is really hard, like just the integration piece. Or what some of them have been. Like, what are some of those big hurdles that you guys have had to?
Or like the big pivots. Like I know in business, like especially you guys starting, you pivot. I'm sure there's been dozens of pivots already from what you thought it was going to be to now.
Yeah.
Just in learning.
Mm-hmm.
And those can often cause some disagreement.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I mean, there's a lot of things we could talk about. I think one thing that comes to mind that I've been working a lot on is, you know, I get very wrapped up in and focused in on work. And so when I'm stressed about something at work, it can very easily continue into our personal life as well. And something that Seth said to me maybe like a month or so ago was, and I'm not going to word it exactly the right way, but the idea was so you have these things that you're worrying and stressing about. And how about how do we change the perspective from being worried and stressed about it to turning that into passion and drive to reach a goal around that thing that you feel stressed about? And I think for me, that was a really pivotal thing to think about, was how do I take these feelings of wanting to do really well and being anxious about it and turn it into, okay, I'm going to assume that we are going to do well. What are the next steps to do that? And I think, I mean, I'm not perfect at that, but it has, for me, helped with a lot of those tensions.
Perspective shift.
Yeah, perspective
That's all
shift.
it was.
Yeah, definitely.
Seth, you're invaluable.
Good job, Seth.
Thank you.
Wise
Appreciate that.
sage.
Oh, you guys are
Wise
so sweet.
sage.
It was a gift from above. Yeah, I mean, I think we've had a lot of those moments. I will say, it was cool seeing that though too, because Becca kind of had that epiphany, I feel like, and then she totally led the charge on our goal setting for August.
She's like,
Had,
LFG.
Exactly.
Get out of my way.
Literally, it was crazy, and it was so cool because it was just we're gonna hit this goal this month, and we did. It was almost a record
that's
month
so
for
cool.
Highline.
Yeah, my mantra was failure is not an option. Success is the only option. So how are we going to do it?
Yeah, it was it's not an option. We have to do it.
Okay, you can't do that without him. And you can't go execute without her and the plan that she put together.
Absolutely.
God, it's so cool.
Yep. And I think it's interesting with us because we are very different people. We work very differently. We have very different personalities.
You have different sleep habits.
Yes.
Different sleep habits, different eating habits.
And Seth, took a nap.
Becca, do you do the nasal strip?
Poor
I
Seth.
have very open nasal
She
passages
has
already.
fine nasals.
You should have wore it for
I
this
should
video.
have.
Come on.
I know.
It's
Channel
part
that
of your
It's for my
identity.
Anders are so enamored with it.
He's like, what are you wearing?
He thought he was lying about his nose.
Well, because at first Seth said he was breathing through it, and Anders thought literal the Band-Aid. And because why wouldn't you, you know? And he's like, you're joking. That's a lie.
I was like, no, I am. It helps me. That was gills out of my nose. I was like, no.
Okay, Becca, though, you were saying you're very, very different people.
Yeah, I mean, we are. We're very different people. And I think sometimes in our bad times, like that is where our conflict comes from. And in our good times, that is where we shine the most, right? Because we're
Right.
complementing each other and we have different skills.
And when one of you is freaking out, I mean, we know like the other one has to be able to be that like
Yeah.
voice of reason and calm presence of like, we will do this, we will get through it.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the best date night you've had since going into business together? Like, what do you give us some ideas? Give the people what they want. This is how you date night with somebody that you're in business with all the time, literally talking to
Except
all day
Denny's
long.
does not count.
Denny's doesn't count. Yeah, neither
I
does
love
I
me
would
some
count
Denny's.
Denny's.
Chick-fil-A. That's something honestly we are working on. We've not been great at like date nights.
Okay.
It feels like for a long season it was like we had something going on every single night. Every single night we were with clients or with friends or working. A lot of nights we're working really late. And so like we were just like, you want to just go watch a show or go to bed, and that was it, like for a long time. So but I will say like we've had a couple dates that were really fun. I think we went to that arcade place. That was
fun.
we
I
went
do like arcades.
dinner and arcade was really fun. Actually,
That's
I
fun.
liked that a lot. So
Yeah, I think it's interesting too, like having a toddler and both of us working full time. I think we both also have this draw where, I mean, that we're trying to learn and figure out is we do put our relationship behind like being with our son too. So
Mhm.
when we're both working all day and he goes to bed really early, I think we both are like, hey, in those few hours between us working and him going to bed, like it's hard for us to want to go get a babysitter. We want to be with him.
Yep. Yes.
Which is great. And also it kind of puts like our relationship later. So it's something we're needing to learn and grow on for
yeah,
sure.
definitely get more creative with our time.
I like
Any
that.
suggestions?
Yeah, any suggestions? Seriously, yeah.
We do have some. We
mean-
did evening date nights at home after the kids would go to bed. So whether it was an intentional game, a fire pit,
We did
like
a couple times.
a glass of wine, we'd order sushi and not eat it until the kids went in bed.
Oh, that's cool.
We've done that.
I think the intentionality of that is no work.
Yes.
Because that's the collateral damage is like when you're doing what you're doing and there's so many things and there's balls in the air and you're managing everything.
Yep.
Dates are just gone.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it's like, and
They
you're both
become a
aligned because
business
you're
meeting.
like, hey, it's all good. We're busy. And it's like, but that, like,
Yep.
if you guys start being so good, your business is going to fall apart.
Yeah.
Like, just will.
For sure.
And so, yeah, I mean, it's still only 6 months into this new one, but it's been like full steam ahead.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so the fact that you know that it's like, well, it's been a little tricky.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the intentionality of we're not going to do work. We're not going to talk work, which
Yeah.
for us is hard.
But we'll even
We
do
have
that
to, like-
midday.
Yeah.
We'll have a midday date. We've done like lunch out and not done work. We're on do not disturb. I mean, catch them where you can.
A date night doesn't have to be like night, like period. It just like,
No.
it's more about
A
intentional
hike.
time.
Yeah.
That's like uninterrupted, just you catching up.
But especially when you're on a budget too. Like I remember like we would do date nights at home and it still felt like a date night if you like order
Yeah,
sushi
it's
or
something
something.
intentional.
Make a cocktail or
We need to get better at the do not disturb. We've done a few things where we've gone out for like Becca's birthday or something, and then like we'll get like text messages like, the client's house is on fire, and we're like, oh crap, like what?
You're like, call 911.
Call 911.
Yeah,
not
Like,
me.
Yeah.
and then you
Come
feel like you can never
I think you can't
Yeah.
rest.
Well, and it derails you mentally,
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
you
That's
know?
so true.
100%.
And we like just the general distraction.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm guilty of that. Ingrid would be like, hey, are you here?
And I'm like, hello, come back to me.
And
It's just
sometimes
true.
as the entrepreneur, you're like, I have to respond to this.
I mean, that's the reality of it too.
It's like
And that's what affords
compartmentalizing.
you the lifestyle that you get to never miss something of
Right.
Abner's is
Right.
that you do need to be available on nights and weekends. And you can set healthy boundaries with clients. And it's 100% worth it every time to not work with a client who doesn't understand. Every time. Like you want me to answer my phone at 2 a.m, we're probably not the best match.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely something we're working on. I've made a bad habit of being like overly available, especially for real estate clients. And so,
Yeah.
like I'll get people texting me at 10:30 at night, like, "Hey, can you tell me what you think about this?" I'm like, No, I need to be asleep.
I'm not asleep,
I
but I
should.
should
I'm
be
not asleep, but I
asleep.
should be though.
Let's talk about Highline real quick though. As far as we've been talking about goals, zoomed out, 5-year goal, 10-year goal, whatever it is.
Yeah, what does that look
What are you
like?
doing? What is the goal of Highline?
I think it's multifaceted.
It is.
We've got a lot of goals with Highline. I think specifically, like I will say that one thing first, like kind of circling back. When you buy a business, you have no idea what the employee situation is going to look like. You don't get to meet them. You don't get
Until
to meet
it's done.
anybody. They don't even know the business
Because
is
they don't
being
want.
sold.
They don't want to. They
Because they might quit. And
They might quit, and then the business isn't worth anything anymore. So it's like you don't know what's going to happen. And so
That's a good point.
We bought this business not knowing like what relationships were going to look like, and I was like, honestly, I was really nervous about that, and it has been absolutely like a blessing.
Awesome.
Everyone's been amazing. Everyone's been so awesome, so gracious, like wanting to learn, to grow. And so like we have all these guys with just so much potential. And I think like one of our goals is to definitely like develop them. We want to get them paid higher because I think a lot of our guys just like they have skill sets that aren't being fully utilized and could be very easily with some pivots. And I think like there's pay increase with that in our opinion. So we want to get people paid better. We've been trying to get better like benefit packages together. That's important to us. And that's something we jumped into.
which is like almost never offered in your industry.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
Super rare.
What a gift.
Yeah. So we're trying to do that. We want to grow it. I think we have like income goals, trajectories, or revenue for revenue and whatnot. We have a few other goals as far as like there's some moving goals. I will say, I'm not gonna lie. There's some moving goals in there. Like, do we pay off the loan really quick, or do we like buy other businesses?
Right.
And so like that's a conversation.
And you scale it up.
Yeah. And do we scale? And how do we do that well?
Yeah.
Because we don't want to buy another business and then forget about Highline. Like
Or sell your soul.
But I mean, is the goal to
You've already
scale
done
and then sell the business and then double down and do it again? Or is it to scale and just own this business for life?
That is to be determined.
Yeah.
it is to be.
Yeah, I don't.
Right.
But there's no intentional exit goal. We're not
No.
trying. That's
We're not
for a lot
trying
of
to
business buyers.
flip.
Like
Yeah,
that is the goal.
that
It's
is
like
the
I'm
goal.
going to buy it. I'm going to use my process. I'm going to scale it and make it bigger, increase the NOI, and sell that sucker for a massive exit,
Yeah.
which is amazing.
Yeah, that's definitely a strategy. I mean, we've talked about that in that book we read. Talked about that too. I think where it's like that's what people do. They get in, they create systems that are invaluable for the business, and then they sell it to
Right.
a hedge fund or a bigger buyer or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I think it's still early enough in the process that we're not really sure yet. I mean, that was, not off the table when we first purchased. But I think it's also finding that balance of like building, like following like financial goals in that, and also like pursuing things we really love to do. And like Highline is definitely a place where we enjoy the people a lot. We enjoy what we do. We see a lot of cool opportunities to grow and like continue to learn for ourselves and our crews. So it's kind of a question mark right now.
I love that.
One thing we do know, and I'm not sure where this fits into everything, but a big goal of ours is to be able to, I think we talked at the beginning about involving some social justice stuff in there as well. And I know
Yes.
Seth and I have a big goal of getting really well versed in the housing industry, learning it well, becoming experts, and then learning how to get involved in the equitable housing sphere. We don't have like clear goals on how to do that yet, but it's definitely something
I love
we
the
wanna
heart
do.
behind it, though.
I do too.
Yeah.
We need it. Denver needs it.
yeah, a long-term goal would be awesome to be able to be like a voice in the room and help build or make decisions on like what kind of affordable housing is needed in certain neighborhoods and that kind of
Right.
thing. We're a little ways off from that.
So cool.
We're speaking it into the world though.
Yeah.
Right now.
That's how it starts.
That's really cool.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap up with some advice.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like
You guys are going to give us advice?
That's right. Give us some advice.
I'm thinking a piece of advice for somebody who's thinking about going into business together with their spouse. One piece of advice. And then I'm also thinking about one piece of advice for purchasing a business with an external partner.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is one thing you would say? Don't forget to think about this, or definitely don't do that, or definitely do
Yeah,
this.
it's so good.
I'll start with the silent partner one, and then we can backtrack. I think one of the biggest things, I think, if you're going to do business with a partner, silent partner, that kind of thing, if you're going to buy a business, is have a robust operating agreement. Think of every contingency you can, because you want to make sure you're covered. And it kind of feels like when you're going through that, you kind of feel like you're like filling out life insurance, like a life insurance policy. You're like, what, really? I need to think about this? Absolutely. I think it just like, it's going to seem a little bit unnecessary, but I think like life happens. You don't know what's going to come at you, what curveballs come. And so it's just like, have that totally prepped and filled out. So that way there's no questioning what is and what isn't. Like, you've got it hashed out. There's no ambiguity.
Nice.
Yeah, the piece of advice that came to my mind was more around like going into business with a spouse or partner. I think something that's been really helpful to us is to have other people already in place who are there as like mentors and advocates and like supporters in our relationship and in our business. Because if it was just us two without all those other relationships in our life, I think it would be very, very hard to hold each other accountable. It would be very hard to like know where to go when things get hard. And I think having all those people in place gives us other voices to listen to when we need, some encouragement, when we need a little like boost to like keep doing something that's hard. And then
Scaffolding.
that's not coming just from each other. That's coming from other voices in our lives.
I love that.
That's great.
So good. You want to end on our question?
Well, first, like, how do people find you or get connected with you?
Yeah, I mean, we have our website, highline.com.
If you call for a bid, Becca will answer.
Becca will answer, and she'll send me out to come take a
Build.
look. And yeah, we're on social media, Instagram, Facebook. We've got all of that. Highline specifically, you can go to House, Yelp. We're on those as well.
Cool.
Nice.
So, yeah.
All right, final question that we ask everyone. So in this season of your life, what would you say that you're currently yoked to?
Yes.
I feel like one thing that I think about that like it seems that it's a theme that keeps coming back to us is like, we want to do right by people and we want to do like things with excellence. And so it's like, we've been doing things with Highline that like are honestly more expensive or harder for us because we feel like it benefits everyone who's involved. Like our employee, like we want people to feel like they're taken care of. And I feel like that's hard sometimes, for sure. I think we need to apply that. And as I'm saying this, we need to apply this to other areas of our life as well, like with one another. But I think like that's something that we keep coming back to. Like, we're like, oh, let's do this. Like, we want to make sure these guys are taken care of. We had someone who, got sick, and like we went, I don't want to say out of our way, but like we really wanted to make sure they were okay at home in their home life, And I think
Integrity.
small business, like,
Hearing
or business
integrity
in
as well.
general, just doesn't think like that. Like big corporate business is just like, oh, you're gone. Okay. Like, make sure you fill out your PTO and use your sick time. And it's like, wait, are you okay? Like, that's the most important thing to us. I think, right now. So,
Yeah.
Did you add anything to that?
Yeah, no, I think that's a good summary.
Yeah.
What are you yoked to, Becca?
I mean, when I heard you say that question, I think what came to mind is just going back to like that conversation that we had where we started setting our goals as a family. And I think having those initial conversations about what we want for our future together, what we want for our son, the legacy we want to leave, that has guided our next steps and led us to where we are now. So it's like, it feels like our life is becoming more and more integrated and yoked to like the goals we have as a family.
Gotta have a vision.
Yeah.
Go with that. That's way better. Just cut out. Go with that. That's way better. That is such.
No, I love that. But I mean, yours is business, which I loved. You're yoked to learning to be a leader that lives by integrity. I mean, truly, which is amazing. I mean, doing the things that are right when nobody's watching.
Yeah.
I totally agree. It's like, as a family and your goals and yoked to that and the intentionality behind it.
Yeah.
I will say too, this is a little shameless plug. That conversation that you helped us have with one another, like, I think it truly was life-changing. Like, it's not an exaggeration. Like, we think about it often.
Yoked.
That's awesome.
Just, it really helped our like trajectory change, I think, and get more aligned.
Thanks for saying that.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely.
It was a gift to give.
Mhm.
Oh,
It was
Well,
a gift to receive. It was helpful.
cool. Do you want to wrap us?
let's all have a hug. Yes. I can be found at the Ingrid Hall on Instagram.
And I am at the Travis Hall as well as partnerwithnorth.com. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for being here. It was a
Absolutely.
fun
Thanks for having us.
conversation. I'm excited to see some feedback on people that are, because I know a lot of people that are, they want to buy a business. The
Mhm.
allure is there. It's the motivation is there, but it is also like, it's a little daunting.
Yeah.
Well, and you guys bought a business in your 20s.
Yeah.
That's super
Yeah,
cool.
we're always happy to chat if anyone has questions about the process.
Yep.
Yeah, hit them up on social media. They're substantially younger than us, so
Oh,
they have many more
They're on the
much
MySpace.
more
They're on
wisdom
Find them on MySpace.
you can
or
glean from.
MSN.
And as always, like, subscribe, and follow
Yes.
along next week as we drop a new episode.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Yoked Podcast. We hope you enjoyed it.
And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow along as we drop a new episode each week.